Powered by Riverside.
It's the Dynasty front office, and we are building you championships one trade at a time.
I'm your host, Mike Casper, and today we're bringing you the 2026 Rookie Prospect Profile of the Week. How you guys doing? You ready to talk another rookie?
What's up, Mike?
How are you?
Man.
Oh, I'm sick. We'll see how this sounds on the back end. But you got to power through, right?
Yeah, that's right.
All right. Well, let's get to it. We're going to talk Makai Lemon today.
Mike, the best ability is availability. So
exactly. I'll power through. So
you your voice sounds better like this, anyways.
Yeah, you would say that, Chad. Hey, so we got Makai Lemon. He's wide receiver out of USC. He's 21 years old. He's 5'11", 195 pounds. He's just finished up his third year in college. So his last year, he had 79 receptions, 1,156 receiving yards, along with 11 touchdowns. And the year before, he had 52 receptions with 764 yards and 3 touchdowns. In 2023, he only had 6 receptions, so not much playing time there. So really, the last 2 seasons, he's put up nearly 2,000 yards and just over 130 receptions. So, Jesse, why don't you just give us an overview of what you've seen in his play and what you like about him?
Yeah, man, I'm really excited about Makai Lemon, and that is the last time I'm going to say that about one of these prospects. I am really excited, really excited about Makai Lemon. He's quick, fast, twitchy wide receiver, runs dynamic routes, gets in and out of breaks quickly, deceptively, got a lot of wiggle, whatever you want to call it. Extremely physical for his size, contested catch, well above what I expected for his size. He's a lot like Devontae Smith in that way, not saying that they're similar type of receivers. Excellent strong hands, great yak ability. I was just saying before we started, he is the most electric wide receiver in this class. You put the ball in his hands and he's amazing. He can house it. Versatile, was used inside and outside, both at good rates. Actually, Austin, I'm sorry. I meant to ask you before we started to look that up. If you have time. Oh, okay. Yeah. Is inside and outside usage?
Yes.
Can you give me that right now?
No, because I don't have it pulled up. So
Okay.
Give me a second, but I'll pull it back up.
Right.
I have it saved.
All right. And he's a gamer, baller, competitor, dog, however you want to put it, whatever one of those words that you put towards guys like this. He's the type of guy that loves football and is going to work hard and he's going to battle on the field and is like an A+ character guy. He was at USC all 4 years. He had chances to leave and take more money and he didn't. So I really like his chances of working hard and being successful in the NFL because of that. All the reports are great on him.
Nice.
As far as negatives go, I kind of only have one, and it's a minor concern. Can he get off press? So despite being physical and having that shiftiness off the line, he couldn't beat press in some games. There was the Notre Dame game in particular where they kind of just shut him down by doing that, by getting on the line and being physical with him and pressing him. I kind of think that that's more of an experience, like he hasn't done it a lot, and technique kind of thing, because he has the physical attributes to do it and the want to do it. So I think if you get him in an NFL program that knows what it's doing and it can teach him, he'll be fine with that. But that's kind of really my only negative.
All right, sweet. Hey, Chad, you were laughing there. Did you want to see Jesse show us what his wiggle looks like? Is that what you were wanting to see there?
No, I was just excited that he hasn't beat the allegations. It's right. Still Root, and he still managed to bring up an Eagles player.
So. Oh, I didn't say route. Dang.
Nice.
So I was just giving. Yeah, it was.
I got you.
It was kind of
funny. So Austin, what do you like most about his game, and any other concerns that you saw that maybe Jesse didn't bring up?
Everything I like. He's my clear wide receiver one. He's
Clear.
the guy. Yeah, he's a separate tier for me, and it's just because in today's NFL he projects as what we see these top receivers project out as. I just feel like he's a day one ready wide receiver one in today's NFL, especially if he can go somewhere where they can use him in a similar facet to a JSN, to a Amon-Ra, that kind of profile. I really don't know how to explain why I think he's better than them, but it's because when I watch his tape, he always looks like the best player on the field. Whereas when I watch the other top receivers, there are other times outside of Tyson, because of Arizona State, they didn't have anybody else. But like with Carnell Tate, there are a lot of times that he's not the best player on the field.
Okay, but
I mean, he has Jeremiah Smith, of course.
Jeremiah Smith.
My point is it doesn't look it. Like Carnell Tate blends in on tape a lot to me. Makai Lemon, when you're watching tape of USC's offense, I feel like he is the player that sticks out 90% of the plays. And that's kind of just, to me, that shows that he's going to be an alpha when it comes in quick. But yeah, as for the slot percentage stuff, career numbers of 70% of production out of the slot. It was lower last year in 2025. It was 59% out of the slot. So 24 was almost exclusively out of the slot. And I don't know if y'all watched.
Where are you seeing that? Because I'm still getting 70.6 in 2025
It was on Twitter. It was advanced numbers. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. It was 70.6 is what I got for career. So maybe I have it messed up, but
from watching it in 2025, that sounds, what Austin said sounds more.
Okay, I'm looking at it right now. I got it pulled up. I got PFF's premium stats for 2025 pulled up.
Okay.
And it's 70.6 for 2025.
Wow. Okay.
One thing I did notice is in 24, his tape, he's a lot quicker in and out of his breaks and off the line. He actually spoke about that. He gained weight going into 25. And you can tell, I will say that would probably be the quote-unquote negative I have, is the electricity off of breaks is a little bit slower than his 24 tape. But at the same time, it was still more than enough to create a pretty high level of separation, in my opinion. And one thing, which it's been shared all over the Dynasty thing, but I'll go ahead and say it. He's the only player in the class to have at least a 3.0 yards per out run, first man and zone. Which is a pretty huge indicative of success coming in. I had it pulled up of the other players to do that, but it's pretty much everybody outside of D. Eskridge, everybody on the list put up elite profile production in the NFL.
And he's a little person.
Yeah.
Man, I remember D. Eskridge. All right, Chad, what do you got to say about him? And is there anyone kind of he's comparable to that you see in this class, or maybe that's already in the NFL and maybe where you'd take him in last year's draft?
Yeah, he is. I know Austin mentioned JSN, similar kind of players. I think they're pretty similar for me as prospects. I was a little lower on JSN than I think consensus was. I'll admit, but you know, a lot of that has to do with like usage and stuff as well. I think Seattle kind of figured that out this year. I can see a lot of the same like kind of early struggles with Makai Lemon. I think it is going to have to be, you know, out the gate. I think he's a slot player. That's just what I think. I mean, I think the amount of usage that he's had in the slot compared to other players coming out that are in that alpha range are you know, just different. You know, typically you're going to see from those guys that can do everything, you're going to see a little bit better splits as far as, you know, maybe they're on the outside, you know, 60+% of the time, even more. You know, guys like Carnell Tate, guys like Jordan Tyson, they're going to be on this on the X, you know, pretty much 70-80% of the time. You know, 13, 14, 15% are going to be in the slot. He's kind of opposite, which is not, I mean, it's not a killer. It's just part of his skill set, right? Like he's a very, very fluid athlete. It's going to be able to do a lot of his damage there. But I just want to see when the team that drafts him, how they see him. Do they see him as that player that can, you know, kind of move his game in a different direction and play all over the field consistently, or if he's going to be, just a slot kind of player, if they're going to use him like Amon-Ra St. Brown or somebody like that. It's just going to depend for me, but I like him. I think the 3 top wide receivers are really close, and then there's a tier break. I struggle different days. He's 2 or 3 for me, but yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of holes in his game.
All right, so maybe this is why I noticed him on the outside a little more and thought that he was used on the outside a little more, is his efficiency rate on the outside was extremely high. So he had a 92% route win rate and a 99.9 PFF deep receiving grade. So maybe that's why I thought he was used outside more, is because he flashed so much when he was there.
Okay.
I will tell you.
He's looked, like I said, no real holes in his game. Everything we're saying about these, especially I think these top 3 guys, is kind of nitpicking besides Tyson injury history. But it's going to be interesting to see how he's used going forward for sure.
Yeah, and Tyson's injury history, I think, is a little overblown, by the way. He's played in most of the games in 3 years, right? So,
yeah.
Chad's really not going to like the next thing I have to say, but my comp for him, the way I think he could be an alpha in the NFL is Neighbors. I don't think he's as dynamic. I don't think he's quite the maniac dog that Neighbors is, but it's in the same mold.
Okay. And
I can't believe Chad didn't go, no, nobody's as good as Neighbors.
I mean, I don't agree, but you already said I don't
It'd
agree.
probably be that. So, yeah. Already said that.
I think Neighbors is a much better player. I think he's just
he is a better player. I'm not saying he's as good.
Jesse, where do you think Lemon will be taken in rookie drafts this year, to kind of give our listeners an idea of where he might?
Like the last few guys we've talked about, between 103 and 106.
3 and 6.
It's going to depend on landing spot and flavor. Who that particular person likes, possibly who they watch in college and who their favorite college team is, because they're that close. Like Chad said, for me, before the draft, it's going to be pretty impossible for me to rank these guys. So yeah, it's going to be landing spot, and also somebody might jump at Sadiq, if they need a tight end in a good premium league.
To me, that would be nuts. I like Sadiq, but I think taking Sadiq over Makai Lemon would be pretty crazy, even with a really high premium.
All right, I assume he's being mocked in the first round. So is there anywhere, and I'll just put this out of the group, anywhere you guys would like to see him play of those first round, where those picks are at for different teams, and anywhere you'd like to see him avoid?
I think he would fit great on the Commanders.
That was literally going to be who I said. Washington.
That's the number 1 spot for me.
That would be a great spot.
Okay. All right. Chad, anywhere to avoid, or anywhere too heavy?
I definitely want to avoid Arizona if possible. I don't think they're going to go that direction, but that would be the spot that I would be, I would have the biggest concern for any of the wide receivers. But I don't think there's one spot, overall, maybe New Orleans. I think out of the 3 players, he would be the player I would least like there. But Washington is a great spot, like they said. New York would be a great spot.
Giants
Cleveland
or Jets?
would be fine. Either really.
Okay.
I mean, hopefully not the Jets, just because
The Jets.
they don't have a quarterback right at the moment. But that could change tomorrow. They can. I mean, not literally tomorrow, but
it could. And technically, it could.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, but
I think
we'll see.
I think New Orleans would actually be a really good landing spot. I think you could use him pretty interchangeably with Olave, and especially in like heavier sets. You have 2 tight ends on the field, and those 2 wide receiver. It's pretty deadly.
Yeah, I don't love it either. I was going to say New Orleans and Kansas City would be my 2 least favorite spots.
Yeah, I don't like Kansas City.
I wouldn't love Kansas City either, because they already have Rice to do a lot of that kind of thing.
I think the other 2, wide receivers that are in that range are much better fits with New Orleans than Makai Lemon would be, in my opinion. But But yeah, I mean, it's not like I would hate any of those. The one I would hate, obviously, is just Arizona. That's the one where I would.
And I'm gonna be honest,
It'd be tough
Baltimore
for
is the
me.
other one. If he slides to 14, I would not be happy with him in Baltimore.
Why?
Mm.
Well, one, because I don't think Lamar will feed him enough to put the production that we want to see
Yeah.
out.
Got
Yeah,
it.
I agree there.
Who did they hire
It'll be
as their
interesting
OC?
it'll be interesting in the fact that Baltimore really hasn't had a wide receiver his caliber. I don't think
Correct.
Zay Flowers is crazy off, as far as being a somebody that could be, in that wide receiver one production range in the right offense. I think Zay Flowers is a really good player, but he's still not Makai Lemon. Makai Lemon in that offense, maybe things are a little bit different, but who
I think
knows?
Zay Flowers is a decent comp for Makai Lemon. I mean, Lemon's got more electricity, more
Well,
speed, but they're
that
about
would
the
be the
same
one thing I
size.
would have said Flowers has on Lemon is his electricity.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think Flowers might be.
He was one of the most
electric
dynamic players
Yeah.
I've seen in a long time in college
Yeah,
football.
I think they're pretty similar guys, actually.
I think Lemon's a much more complete receiver.
Yeah,
Yeah.
much more well-rounded. If you could cut the difference between Makai Lemon and somebody like Corley or
Oh gosh,
that would be Zay Flowers.
Yeah, that's pretty fair.
He's right in between those kind of guys.
We could even be nicer and say Elijah Moore.
Yeah,
Oh, my
yeah,
goodness.
why not?
Yeah,
Why not?
because I mean, Elijah was good coming out of college. Didn't
I'm
work,
not saying
but-
talent level. I'm saying the style of play. It's
I gotcha.
he's in that he's in the middle of that range
Mm.
where he just did a little bit more in college. Of course, what's his name? And now he's slipping my mind.
I think
we
Zay
just had
Flowers is just more of a downfield player than either of those guys that you mentioned.
Branch this year's a good talking point of that. A lot of people are saying that he is capable of being a well-rounded player. I think Zay Flowers coming out was Zachariah Branch, but had done more stuff in college and was able to show it a little bit more. So
I do think that's a good comp for
Interesting.
Branch,
Okay.
and that more of a ceiling comp.
yeah, exactly.
Like what we want Branch to turn into. I think that's
Yeah.
pretty fair.
So for the people that like Branch and think he can, make it to the NFL and maybe in a different offense, do a little bit more because he has a little bit more opportunity to do a little bit more, you're hoping he gets to Zay Flowers.
I think that's reasonable.
All right. Anything else our listeners need to know about Makai Lemon?
This is my dude.
His dude, Austin's flag
This is
plant.
my
There you
guy.
go.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
Please just don't come in sub 180.
That's
Oh,
going to be
that's-
the big thing
that
for
would
him,
be
man,
scary.
because what if he comes in 5'9"?
That's literally gonna be the other thing I said. And please don't come in sub 5'10".
Okay.
Yeah, I mean the thing is he's a winner. And I don't mean score winning. I mean on the field he wins nonstop. So at the end of the day, I don't really care how tall and how big he is, but it sure would
Teams
be
are gonna
nice
care.
to be 5'11", 190. I
Teams
would
are
be
gonna care
much
for
better.
sure.
If he's 5'9", you're looking at more of a Josh Downs profile.
Yeah, I mean he's a totally different receiver, but I understand
Different
what you're
type
saying.
of player, but once you get guys that height downfield, quarterbacks can't see them. Ask Tua.
Yeah, that is I guess that we didn't really say it. That is the one worry is the size isn't
Yeah.
what they're
Yeah.
saying online.
I didn't think about it until you mentioned it, and I was like, oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that is one thing I'm really petrified of.
I didn't bring it up because I thought about it while I was watching the tape, but because I thought about it as something to look for, but I didn't think he looked small.
Now he just wins, plain and simple.
I mean, he
beats
doesn't-
size. He beats everything.
I think in that range of height though, he is not a big player. But in that range of player, it's kind of hard to tell 5'9", 5'10", 5'11". He's somewhere in that range. Would just hope it's on the higher part of that range than the lower part.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not anything crazy. He's not. He's still a good player.
All
Does
right.
seem to be a cutoff point, though.
All right. So please get those measurables at the combine there.
Yeah, stretch
I mean,
really good the night
Yes.
before.
Stretch real good and drink some water. All right. Well, this has been our rookie prospect profile of the week. Join us next week, and we'll be going over KC Concepcion, wide receiver from A&M.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the front office. The lights are low, the boards are lit, and the Dynasty clock is ticking. From the heart of the startup draft to the championship throne, one crew rules the long game. Give it up for the undisputed architects of empire.